This is Marcus Corval with the Studio MMA and MMA Nuts, and if you've been seeing fighters changing their shapes, this is the man behind them, Mike Dolce. How are you feeling tonight?
I feel wonderful. How do I look?
Look in shape.
All right.
You want a specific diet or anything?
I am there. This is one diet I've been, following a little bit. It seems to be working pretty well.
And talk about working. You've taken some fighters that were not in the greatest of shapes, put them into amazing shape, not just looks-wise, but what's the response you get from them when it comes to being inside of the octagon or in the cage, depending where they fight?
I think the thing that separates the Dolce diet, my plan, apart from most of the others is the fact that my athletes are healthy. They are 100% healthy, they make weight with absolutely no problem, and every single one of their performances is a career-defining moment. You will never see one of my athletes miss weight, or you will never, ever see one of my athletes in the cage at anything less than their full potential, and they know that. That's why they bring me in.
You had two fighters on the UFC card in Birmingham, Thiago Alves and Chris Lieben. Thiago Alves obviously being from Brazil but being with the American top team, and then you had Chris Lieben who was in Hawaii. How are you able to deal with two fighters at the same time?
Well, unfortunately with Chris Lieben, I wasn't able to work with him past 10 weeks out because Thiago Alves had already retained me, and I can't split my services up. It's not fair to the athlete. So Thiago got me first, so I lived with him, stayed with him. I helped Chris from 10 weeks out or so lose about 20 pounds, and then after that it was hard to keep in touch. So we were on the east coast of the United States, he was in Hawaii. There was an 8-hour time difference, and Thiago wakes up very early where Chris wakes up very late, which made the problem even worse. It was just impossible to communicate.
For the mainstream athlete or non-athlete as well, what's the #1 thing when it comes to diet, if you had to choose one thing that people have to do in order to improve their lives?
You have to eat whole foods. You have to eat whole foods.
So not Trader Joe's?
I'm sorry?
Not Trader Joe's, Whole Foods.
Well, no, I'm saying get it anywhere you want. Preferably you get it out of your backyard. You start your own little garden. That's the way to do it. But you want to pull your foods from the earth first and foremost. The farther you get from that, the less healthy you are. That's the fact. So try and get as close to the earth as possible. That'll take care of itself.
Thanks, Mike. And people, if they want to follow you on Twitter, obviously you've got books coming out, and you had a few coming out already. Yes. How can people get a hold of you?
You can follow me on Twitter at The Dolce Diet, or just simply thedolcediet.com. Google The Dolce Diet, you'll find me.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
cheers,
of
mate.
course.